Welcome to Mompreneur Truth Talks. I'm Lisa Avila, business strategist and mom of 3 busy teenagers. Are you building something incredible but wondering why success feels so complicated? Maybe you dream of making a big impact, but you keep asking yourself, is it possible to grow without sacrificing the moments that matter most as a mom? Here's my take. Life isn't about balance, but instead harmony. I've been there in the weeds, juggling soccer practices, struggling with Common Core math. Seriously, why is it so confusing? And running a business. Along the way, I realized that with the right strategic design, you can create harmony between your work and life without compromising what matters most to you. In this podcast, I'll share practical strategies and real-life solutions to help you find that harmony. Now let's dive into today's episode.
Hi, Mama. How many browser tabs do you have open right now? Let me guess, at least a dozen, all filled with business advice, marketing tips, and foolproof strategies that somehow never quite work in real mom life. Oh, and if you're like me, you probably have a couple shopping tabs like Quince open as well. You're trying to piece together success between all the mom things, practices, school pickups, and wondering why everyone else's quote-unquote simple systems feel so complicated in your world. That overwhelm that you're feeling, it's not because you're doing something wrong. It's because you're trying to follow a system that wasn't designed for the complexity of mom life. Today, I'm going to share 3 things that changed how I approach strategy and how I help other moms build their successful businesses the same way I do. This is different than regular business planning, but for me, it's the key to making sustainable progress while honoring your family life. Right now, maybe you're overwhelmed by all the things you should be doing. I cannot stand that word. We do not need to be shoulding all over ourselves. And maybe you're trying to implement advice that doesn't account for school schedules and holidays. You're starting strong each Monday, only to feel behind by Tuesday afternoon. And you're watching other entrepreneurs share their simple systems while wondering why it feels so complicated for you. I see you, ambitious mom. That feeling of drowning in strategy while craving simplicity, let's change that today. Let me share something that happened during a recent client session. This mom had everything she needed to succeed: expertise, passion, drive, but she was stuck in what I call the strategy spiral. She was consuming endless business content online, especially at night when she couldn't sleep. She was buying marketing books she wasn't reading, which, trust me, I have a lot under my nightstand as well. She was starting but not finishing multiple projects, and she was feeling increasingly overwhelmed and going nowhere fast. Does this sound familiar? But here's what traditional business advice tells us to do. Plan your entire quarter in advance, as if kids never get sick or school get closed. Block out 4-hour deep work sessions. Now, how do you do that between school practice and dinner prep? Follow their rigid, proven system that assumes that you have a team of assistants who can pick up all those important tasks that need to be done. And then create complex marketing funnels while you're helping with homework and making dinner, right? I remember sitting in a high-level business strategy workshop, watching everyone nod along to the presenter's foolproof system. It required hours of uninterrupted morning time, rigid scheduling blocks, and complete focus. The mom that was with me, she actually laughed out loud because we know the truth. Our morning routines mean making breakfast, finding lost shoes, sometimes packing lunches, and somehow getting everyone out the door and where they need to be on time. But after helping myself and helping other moms build successful businesses, I realized that our chaotic mom life, it isn't a barrier to success. It's an opportunity for us to innovate. The interruptions, the schedule changes, they're not derailing our strategy. We just need to create a better one that works for our life. So let me share these discoveries that changed how I approach strategy and how I help other moms do the same. First one, the strategy myth. We've been taught that good strategy means complex frameworks, perfect execution. But really, the best strategy isn't the most complicated one. It's the one that you will actually use. Let's think about it. When was the last time a traditional business strategy accounted for sick kids, sports tournaments, recitals, summer breaks, holiday schedules, and most importantly, the mental load of managing a household while building a business? One of my clients was trying to follow a popular business guru's advice about working in 90-minute focus blocks, which sounds great. I would love that. But you know what happened? She spent more time stressing out about finding those blocks to put in her calendar than she was actually doing the work. Okay, so let's move on to the second discovery insight: strategic alignment. Instead of focusing yourself into someone else's system, what if you started with your real life and designed around that? You built processes that work in small time blocks and on days when you actually have that time. Then you can create momentum without burning out, and you make progress between those mom moments. Let me show you what this looks like in practice. For me, this is how I create strategic flow. If I get an idea while I'm in the carpool pickup line, I will send myself a voice note. I will use a transition time between being in my office and moving into mom time to send a quick email. I'm always thinking, let's transform waiting time into strategic planning. And that doesn't have to sound as big as it is. Maybe it is just sending yourself a reminder that you want to work on your email sequence when you do have a block of time. You make every moment count, but on your terms. Now, the third insight is flow over force. Traditional strategy tells us to force our lives into rigid systems. It's quite masculine. But what if the key to sustain our success is in finding natural flow? Here's how this works. Look at your actual life, not the ideal one where your calendar is free all day. Where are your natural pockets of time? When do you have the most energy? When does your family need you the most? And then design your power blocks. These aren't traditional work blocks. They're strategic moments that align with your life. Morning prep time if you like to get up early before the house wakes. School hours focus time. Activity batching your work during practices when you're sitting there for an hour and a half anyway. And then evening planning sessions after the kids go to bed if you like to stay up late. Instead of watching Netflix, do a little work. Now, you can create your success rituals. Instead of rigid routines, develop flexible rituals that ground you in your purpose and your vision. Energize your work, support your family life, and build sustainable momentum. For me, this means waking up early, having journal and meditation time. I even use my headlamp to walk before the sun comes up sometimes because I just need that me time to listen to a podcast or to just think about all the ideas that I've been thinking about and then send myself voice notes so that I can actually go and do them when I have time. And I see other moms do this as well. One mom I work with, she went from feeling constantly behind with her nonprofit to building this 6-figure business. And she doesn't have to work full time. She just designs her strategy around her life and her family and her kids instead of the other way around. And here's what happens when you align your strategy with your real life. You stop feeling guilty about not doing enough. Your business flows with your family's rhythm. Your productivity naturally increases and your impact grows without the overwhelm. Doesn't that sound nice? This isn't about working harder or finding more hours in the day. It's about working aligned and creating success that works for you. If what you're hearing resonates, I'd love for you to join my weekly newsletter. Each week, I share practical strategies and insights for ambitious moms, building businesses that work with their lives, not against them. You'll find the link in the show notes. Next week, I'm going to be talking about what happens when you break free from the perfect life checklist and start building something that truly lights you up. So thanks for hanging out with me today. And remember, you absolutely can have both your dreams and your family life. I'll catch you next week on Mompreneur Truth Talks. Thank you for spending time with me today in Mompreneur Truth Talks. Before you go, please do me a quick favor. If this episode spoke to you, please like, follow, or leave a review. Your feedback helps other ambitious moms find these conversations about designing a business and life that work together. All right, moms, I'll see you next time. And remember, success isn't about sacrifice or balance. It's about creating harmony and taking action steps that feel right for you.